as the Bible says, there's no rest for the wicked. Apparently I was wicked. Drinking was the first thing that I could hide. I could do it and hide it. The first drink that I ever took was a fifth of Canadian Mist, the whole fifth. Because, nobody tells you how to socially drink. I drank the entire fifth. I was like, oh, this makes me feel amazing, and I ain't gonna lie. I would drink and I'd get a little promiscuous. I don't know how that happened, but I thought if I'm gonna go to hell, I'm gonna just do everything. So I hooked up with some guy on a CB. It's just like internet dating now. It's CB dating back then. The girl that I was seeing, she was not real happy. Because I had the girlfriend. I met her at 22 too, so I'm trying to, I can't, she's gonna cause me to go to hell is what's gonna happen. So I need to figure out how to be straight. The torment of being with the girl and Jesus is coming back at any day, and when you're doing wrong, you are always on his hit list. It's like he's a hitman. He keeps missing, but the torment of driving down the street and the fear of being run over because of God, not because it's a drunk driver. And it was constant. Alcohol was the only thing that would shut it up. The only thing that would give me a few minutes of, I don't care, joy. I don't care where I'm gonna spend eternity. I'm gonna have a fucking good time right now. And alcohol did that for me. And then it didn't take it long to where it wasn't fun. Because I drank. I started out with the fifth. I didn't get better from there. I got worse. I drank a bottle of Reuniti Dioro in a 44-ounce Sonic cup with straw. I think that was normal. Two bottles. I had a wet bar before I even knew what a wet bar was. I dabbled in it up until I finally left the church. And then I just became a full-blown, raging, vodka bottle-carrying alcoholic. I didn't care what it tasted like. I wanted what it did. Couldn't stand the taste, but I liked what it did. It made me have a few moments of happiness and joy, but I didn't have that switch that could turn it off and keep it there. I'd go straight through to the blackout. I've put my hands on people. I've done things I'm ashamed of. Not sober. I still believed the message, but I couldn't live it. And that was my get out of jail card. I'm just gonna say, hey, I can't live it, so I believe it. I believe it's the truth. I just can't live it. I'm gonna go do my thing. And that's where the raging alcoholic life basically began. But there was like 18 months where I, lost my mom, lost the weight, left the church. My entire social structure collapsed because when you walk away from the church, you lose everything. I lost everybody. Nobody would have anything to do with me because I came out of the closet and was going to be a sinner or whatever. So I just picked up and went to Nashville, and the alcohol just followed me. I tried to do the bar scene. I didn't know how to play in the world. I'd never done it, and I would drink, and then I would just be obnoxious, and you can't keep friends like that. I thought it was the suffrage and the misery was from all of that, just from my walking away from God. That's why I was a drunk. That's why I was so miserable. It was my fault that I had walked away from God. And I just kind of accepted it. And I felt like I didn't really feel like I could do anything because I knew I couldn't live for God. So I was kind of stuck. And that was a miserable place to be. I moved on First Avenue North. To get to First Avenue North, you came up on Church Street and Gay Street. Church Street goes one way and Gay Street goes. I took a picture of it because I just knew it was God that had those signs up there, just for me, because I'm that sure that I was a child of God, and that was Him doing that. I was so torn. because either way I'd get home. If I went one way, it was church and the gay bars, and then I was just tormented everywhere I went. I came across this guy in the bar, and we started chit-chatting about music, and we'd drink and we'd get talking. He found out I played bass, and he's like, oh, I am the music director at Holy Trinity Community Church in Nashville, Tennessee. Come play the bass for me. And I'm like, we are sitting in a gay bar. Last thing I'm going to do is going to be picking up an instrument in a gay church. And I wasn't trying to go to hell tonight. I was like, I will drink myself there, but ain't no way. That is just pushing. That is tempting the Lord thy God. That just wasn't happening. So every time he'd see me out, please, because he knew the kind of music we talk about. And I said, yeah, I'll play that. And he's like, please come play the bass for me. But I'm not going to a gay church and playing no gay bass for no gay Jesus. It's not happening. I'm not going to hell that way. I'm going to go to hell this way. But the drinking just kept on. And I thought, well, I'm going to go to hell. Might as well play the bass, it's something I enjoy doing. When I would play and when I would sing, it was what brought me joy. It would be the only time outside of alcohol that I would find a place of happiness was in that music. I go to the gay church. I wait till church starts because I don't want nobody shaking my hand. I don't want nobody talking to me. I just want to go in and see what's going on. Go in and sit down, and there's all kinds of people. There's black, there's white, there's Asian, there's just all kinds of people. And then there's men, and men with their art. Okay, and we're doing We're doing Jesus. Okay, this is gay church. Okay, we're doing Jesus gay style. I'm okay. And I remember I was just overwhelmed. I began to just weep. And I had this very familiar feeling. And I said to myself, I thought, God, I know why I'm here, but what the hell are you doing here? I was still drinking, still struggling. But I started going there, and I committed to playing the bass to them for them. I made a commitment in my head. I was like, I am going to invest everything that I've ever invested in the Pentecostal church. I'm going to invest here and see what kind of return basically I get. I started getting a community, started meeting people, and I started finding out what a different Jesus looked like. A Jesus that would talk to people that were gay, that would talk to people that were homeless, that would open up the church doors for people that are homeless, that would clothe homeless people, I just found a different Jesus than I was ever raised with. We never had a soup kitchen. Growing up, we'd have like a food closet. All of our fat asses had a key to it, but we didn't feed anybody in the community. I still couldn't buy in to the Jesus story even that they were selling because I was so indoctrinated from the other. And the entire 8 years that I went to that church and I'm still drinking, I'm still thinking I'm going to hell. But I got friends. I'm getting to play the bass. I'm playing gospel music. It's what I love. It was okay. It was tolerable. But I never felt like I was living for God. I went to play the bass. And I got a lot of good life lessons, and I got a lot of friends, and I made a lot of connections that they kind of knew me topically. Not real close because I didn't know how to do that. I would keep people at bay. The one thing about this church that amazed me was I got a DUI. Now, my home church where I was raised, that's just a sign God's letting you know He's on your trail. He's trying to get your attention. That's what that DUI was about. I ended up having to go to jail for a little bit and then to rehab. Now, mind you, I'm in Nashville. I don't have a blood relative to my name. I'd only been there just a short period of time, met these people from the church. I never expected what happened. Every day while I was in jail for 17 days, I got a letter from the church. Now, I didn't know these people that long. And here I am in jail for a DUI and a wreck that I caused. And they're sending me encouragement. Not one letter of you knew better. Not one letter of condemnation. Not one. And I was like, that's weird. And so I'm at rehab, and it's Thanksgiving. And on Thanksgiving, you can have as many visitors as they'll come, because it's the holiday. Now, I had a girlfriend, so I fully expected, the girlfriend to be there. When I tell you that 17 people from that church showed up and sat with me and filled a gazebo up and sat with me and laughed and talked and engaged, and not one time did they ever say, well, you know how to turn this around. Not one ounce of condemnation. It was the most unbelievable thing I had ever encountered. And I was obviously still today, and to me, they introduced me to a different Jesus. The fake Jesus was making some brownie points with me, you hear? I had never experienced that kind of compassion and that kind of love. I still felt like I was lost. I still felt like I would split hell wide open, but I was really interested in how this Jesus over here could be so, the discrepancy was just so unreal.